Well, hello everybody, and happy Chris and Amanda Day. Happy Chris and Amanda Day, Amanda Sharp.
Happy Chris and Amanda Day, Chris Baglio.
We have got a good show. Well, we think all the shows are good. I
Well,
mean,
to be fair.
to be fair, they're all good. But today we've got another great show, all prepared for you. We're going to be talking about songs that make you think of fall, or conversely, we could also say songs that you only listen to during the fall, right? Because
fair.
If you're like me, I have like sort of like a fall playlist of songs that I really kind of only listen to during like this time of year, like when it changes, right? So because you have like spring and summer, which are cool, but like I feel like I listen to a completely different set of tunes during spring and summer as opposed to like fall and then winter. And I'm excluding the holiday songs because that's just a given.
Absolutely. And Chris had this idea to do a fall/autumn theme for today's show. And I was like, Chris, I don't know if I can do it without some Christmas music, because the minute there's some chill in the air, let's be honest, the minute Amanda feels like listening to it, Christmas music is on my playlist.
Yeah.
And so I did have to really try to not put Christmas on the playlist.
It was good. You did a very, very valiant attempt to not do that. Because while most people are about pumpkin spice, Amanda's all about that Christmas spice, the holly, all the trappings, the mistletoe,
all the things that you just feel when you think of Christmas morning.
Right. Amanda's already been the minute it became September 1st, Amanda was like in Christmas mode.
Absolutely. It's so good. And I didn't put any Halloween songs because we plan on Halloween songs. So this was not really a struggle, but I had to like do a little bit more deep diving into the process than I normally do. Didn't come as easy.
I think you had a lot of great song selections this week. And for me, it was hard because there are like, seriously, like there's a ton of bands and songs I kind of don't like. I'll listen, not that I don't listen to them during the week. I mean, during the year, but like, it gets heavier for me during like from September to like April until we get like into March, and and then but I got like a very kind of like, I don't know, I'm a creature of habit that way. There's like songs that I listen to that are like, this is like my fall music, so.
Yeah, and I don't know what you just hit, but even like the hitting was like dumb, like it set this, like it was dumb. It set the scene for the darker weather, the cooler weather, all of the things. And I had to say, like, when I listened to our playlist on our playlist,
yeah,
it was almost could have been like confused with a like Sunday morning, like easy Sunday listening. Like it's a little bit of a slowdown.
There's no doubt on the Sunday morning, on my Sunday morning playlist, there's definitely songs that I would consider fall-ish songs on the Sunday morning playlist, which is why I think the Sunday morning playlist is like kind of exclusive, because that Sunday morning time between like, I'm gonna go with like 7 to like 11.
Yeah.
Like I'm much more open to listening to stuff, but once I get past 11 and all that, then it's like, and football kind of starting up. Like I'm just kind of, all right, it's, I'm in my mode. I'm good. Now I'm ready for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. Yeah. You rested.
Yes, exactly. I rested. So we're so glad you can all join us here today as we discuss and share with each other and review the songs that we've shared with one another this week on songs that make us feel like fall, or songs that we only listen to during the fall. If you have any songs that you'd like to share with us, let us know. Throw it in the comments if you're watching this live. You can also give us a call on the Chris and Amanda Show hotline at 973-506-8009. 973-506-8009 is our exclusive hotline to the Chris and Amanda Show. Leave us a voicemail and we will play it on the air. And if you're calling outside of the United States, make sure you dial that +1 so that way you can get through and leave us that all too awesome voicemail.
If people don't start, Marcus has started to threaten that he's going to do it for us, and he's just going to say not great things.
That's good. That's fine. That'll be funny. It'll be hilarious. It'll be like, we can make that a segment, like the Marcus voicemail of the week. I think that would be hilarious.
We'll have to name him something different. Well, obnoxious like name, and no offense to anyone who has that name that we choose.
No offense.
No offense in
Yeah.
advance, but I
Yeah.
thought that would be fantastic. So if people don't start calling us in, Marcus might.
That's right. He might. He just might. He just
You all
might.
have been warned.
Yes, you've all been warned. You've all been warned. So, we also want to welcome, now that we've kind of vamped it up and talked about stuff, if this is your first time listening to the Chris and Amanda Show or watching us, or if you've just discovered us through one of the other shows, namely our Disney Songs one, which still continues, Amanda Sharp,
I
to
know.
be our number one most downloaded
I'll
episode
take it.
and listened to episode of 2022 by miles, is the Disney episode. Well, we're happy
Welcome.
you're here, but we're just going to let you know not everything is like the Disney episode, but we're so happy you're here. So I'm going to throw it over to my amazing co-host, Amanda Sharp, to let you know how the show normally works if you're coming here past the Disney show and you're like, let me
Disney.
see what else they got.
And the format stays the same pretty much every single week. It's just maybe the theme, shifts a little bit. But
Right.
how we traditionally do it is Chris sends me 3 songs. I send Chris 3 songs, and we rate them on a complicated scale of 1 to 5 records.
Yeah, that's right.
1 meaning we hate it. It should never have existed. It's a dumpster fire, which would not smell as bad in the fall as it would in the summer. That's right. And
Dumpster
then
fire.
and then 5 being it is just an amazing song, will forever live in history, and it just makes people smile. So that's a 5 record, and we've been generous with 5 records.
We have been. We have been. There's been a lot of good songs though that have been coming up
Yeah.
lately, and even some new songs for me. And I'm like, that's a really good song. Like, it's a really good song. So, listen, I think a 5 record song is deserved, where it's deserved, and whatever genre it is, if it's a good song, it's a good tune. That's it.
Absolutely. And of course, we could not do this without our amazing sponsor.
That is right. Welcoming back to the Chris and Amanda Show, our amazing sponsor, Ironic Media, Mr. Mark Ronick. Make sure you head over to ironicmedia.com, or make sure you follow Mark at Mark Ronick, or on IG, or on Clubhouse at Mark Ronick. All the links are in our show notes below, so you can connect with Mark any single time. Mark Ronick is if you're a fan of the show and you're a steady listener of the show, Mark checks in regularly.
Yes, he
In fact,
does.
he's checking in now with a good morning
And
a woohoo.
yes.
So benefits of watching and listening live, that you get to check in like that. But Mark is not only a great fan and supporter of the show, but he's also a very good friend and awesome sponsor. And Mark is also a podcast producer and a podcast coach. And Mark has helped us like on our show. I mean, if you notice, if you're following us on social media, things like that, you're going to notice probably an increase in reels, and increase some of our different content. Amanda and I have been really experimenting and doing a lot of things. And that's because of Mark's influence.
Yep.
Like, Mark was able to look at what we've been doing with that objective eye and give us some amazing creative and constructive feedback on how to enhance our show, how to get more followers onto our Instagram and TikTok accounts, and also, just improve some of the technical aspects of our show too, which is very, very important.
And let's not forget, he is the one who led me to the mini mics.
That's right. The mini mics. Thank you, Mark Ronick, for the mini mics that Amanda and I are using in our reels.
That we're obsessed with.
Yeah.
That's the Mark.
Our mini mic videos. Thank you, Mark Ronick, for it's the one thing we've added that could actually blow up the show, is mini mic. Doesn't matter what else we do, as long as we use mini mics on our reels, people like it. Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah. Total magic. One of the other things too about Mark is that I mentioned he's a podcast producer, right? So that's another thing where if you are a podcaster and you really need help with the editing of your show, or the overall cleanup, or just the production of the show itself, Mark does that. Those are services Mark has. So beyond just what Amanda and I are talking about, which is the coaching and consulting side of things, he's also a full-on podcast producer. So if you need that kind of help with your podcast, you're finding yourself a little underwater, and you really need that hand, that someone who has a technical skill to be able to make your podcast sound better and also edit it up, Mark is your guy. That's who you want to talk to. Once again, the links are in the show notes below. And he's also, he has a free discovery session too, which you can sign up for. And we're going to announce on the show.
This is big, friends. Listen up.
Big contest news.
We get to announce it first.
We do.
I mean, so this is a big deal, friends. So listen to what Chris is about to tell you.
That's
Mostly
right.
because I struggle saying the name of some of the things that he's about to say.
So, Mark, love your brutal honesty. It's fantastic. So, for those of you who are watching and listening to the show right now, and you know, listen, we are like, we don't do a ton of giveaways on this show, but we're really happy to be able to do this one. And this is one that Mark Ronick of Ironic Media is sponsoring, and he's doing a Shure MV7 mic and podcast coaching session giveaway.
Ooh.
Let me just say that again. You're getting a Shure MV7 mic and podcast coaching session giveaway. And as you can see, if for those of you who aren't watching this, right? So you can go back and watch the video version. But this like little podcast mic comes with the microphone, which is the Shure MV7 is an awesome podcasting mic. It sounds delicious. I love it. Delicious sound, and it's got a little tripod on it too, so that way, you know, if you don't have a whole arm thing, you can actually just put it right on your desk and use it. And I'll tell you, it really will make a big difference in the way your podcast sounds. We're gonna have to get Amanda Sharp one of these. I think, Amanda, you should probably enter this so that way, or I guess we're excluded because we're
I know.
No, but your audio, it doesn't sound so bad. But it would sound better with a Shure MV7. I'll tell you that.
It could sound better.
Yeah.
It could.
I mean, my audio might sound better with a Shure MV7.
It's so easy to sign up. Like, look at that sign up sheet. Boom, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, literally. So the link to sign up for this exclusive contest is on our show notes, right? So you can go right onto our show notes and click the link to sign up for free. To be entered to win a Shure MV7 mic and podcast coaching session giveaway with Mark. So we were just talking about Mark and his podcast coaching. So as much as this helped us, Amanda and I, and we did multiple sessions, I'm telling you, one session with Mark is going to blow your mind, and you're going to want to keep working with him. So definitely check this out. Fill this out. This is going to be an awesome contest. Like I said, the winner is also going to receive 1 hour of podcast coaching session with Mark, and you have 6 days, 23 hours, and 45 minutes to enter. It's a $270 value. So make sure you enter for this giveaway. Use the links in the show notes below. That's it. Whew. That was a lot. That was a great this is a great contest, though. This is awesome. Everybody really should be entering this.
And, you know, we really, really believe in his offering his product and his help. So I know we are a little lengthy sometimes when we talk about stuff. It's just we get really excited.
We do.
We get so excited, especially when we're in love with what we're talking about. So thank you so much, Mark, for sponsoring this episode and a couple future ones here. And good luck to everyone who enters for that giveaway.
That's right. Good luck. And if you have any questions at all, just shoot them over to Mark.
Yep.
go over to ironicmedia.com and shoot them on over to him. But yeah, very easy contest. Enter. It's officially open. We've opened it. Ba-boom. All right.
Like how Christmas season's officially open, right?
That's right. September 1st, Christmas season's open for Amanda Sharp.
It's
right after Labor
hunting
Day.
Season.
Yeah. It's like hunting season. All right.
Chris,
let's give the people what they want, what they came for. Us talking about music.
This is right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to dive into what your song list to me this week was.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So Chris's first song to me was Supernaught.
Yes.
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Okay. I got all those words correct.
You got them all right.
I'm feeling like a superstar already. Number 2, November by Christie Front Drive.
Yep.
And then your third song to me is, I'm going to struggle with this one. Jannah?
Sounds good to me.
By Sunny Day Real Estate. Listen.
Yeah. Which would have been the name of Amanda's real estate agency had it not already been taken by Sunny Day Real Estate.
I know, right? Like that actually sounds like a great idea for like a name of a podcast. Sunny Day Real Estate Podcast.
It'll probably trend too because the band is so popular. Everybody's gonna keep typing in Sunny Day Real Estate, and you're
we have no shame piggybacking off of success.
No, not at all.
So those are Chris's songs to me this week.
Very good. And your songs to me this week, and I once again, I really dug your playlist to me this week. This was cool. Yeah. So We're Gonna Be Friends by the White Stripes. I love the White Stripes, by the way. They're great. we've got Leaves That Are Green by Simon and Garfunkel, and the classic Neil Diamond ballad, September Morning. Morn. Sorry, not it's Morn. September Morn.
Or Morn.
Because he's cool like that. It's not all morning, it's just morn.
Yeah.
September morn.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
That was very good.
Yeah.
So I think you should start
Okay.
with
I'm
my
gonna
first
start.
choice because I
I
just
am starting with your first choice.
okay, awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
So this song, I really, really like this song a lot, actually. I didn't know if you knew that, but I'm a White Stripes fan. So this song actually comes off the record released in 2002, White Blood Cells. So if everybody kind of remembers, if you can go back to early 2000s when a White Stripes blew up, like exploded onto the rock scene, it kind of started like this whole like garage rock revival type thing that really kind of lasted for like a year and a half or so, and like began like all these other garage rock type bands came out. But I mean, White Stripes were the ones that sort of really ignited that whole like thing, and then being like a duo, and they had the whole like Jack and Meg had the whole like, you know, the whole thing going on with the same last name. It was great. They're a great band. Before they even blew up, they'd already been around for a while in the Michigan scene, doing their whole Detroit, Michigan scene of garage rock. And you know, when they blew up, I was like, wow, I would talk about a band I never expected to blow up like as big as they did. Like
Sure.
the White Stripes were such an underground, like indie, like really, like people are like really, but you know that they just blew up. And I think it had a combination too with like that first music video they did with the Legos. The with that man, I'm blanking on the name of the song right now, but like like that video I think really helped launch them out there. And so this song, We're Gonna Be Friends, was never released as a single, right? It was never actually officially released as a single, but it blew up because of, and I will always remember this because of this, is Napoleon Dynamite,
Yes.
which was also which also I think is really fun because Napoleon Dynamite, much like the White Stripes, was a film that came out of nowhere,
Nowhere.
and
Nowhere.
it was like a film that really should not have gotten as big as it did, and it just blew up. And like that's another, like that film is, I love it, but it is weird. It is a weird indie movie,
Downright stupid.
like that. Just, I mean, and it's I believe me, it's an amazing film. And
Mhm.
if we were doing reviews on films, and then we'd have a whole episode about that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that movie should not have really had been as big as it did,
Yeah.
and it was great. And so this, which I love, was the opening credits. The
Yeah.
title sequence to the film is the use of this song. So I think forever and ever and ever, this song and this movie are linked. And I
Mhm.
can't ever not think of the opening. And there's a music video for this song too, which is kind of like fun and quirky, like it's weird, but like, but the title sequence to Napoleon Dynamite in the song is forever my pick. The song was written by Jack White, and he takes the perspective of a young boy who befriends a schoolgirl, Susie Lee. They walk to school every day and have lots of adventures along the way, often stopping to chase bugs. And he knows they're going to be great friends. I mean, what a like super sweet, like positive song. Like
It's
it's
just
wholesome.
it's like it could be a kid's book.
Yeah, it really could be. And I actually think there is a kids book version of this. I think Jack White did do a kids book
Are
of
you
like this.
serious?
Yeah, I think it exists out there. I have to go on. I think he sells it through his label, Third Man Records, which I
Oh
buy
my
a lot of
goodness.
Third Man
I'm gonna
Records
have
stuff.
to look it up as soon as the show is over because I have to see that. It's so
I
sweet.
think it's out. I think it's a book. So, if anybody out there is listening and can confirm that, let us know. But
Yeah,
I'm
throw it
pretty
in the
sure I've
comments.
seen the cover of it of it's a book. So anyway, listen, I think this is a great song. It's not my favorite White Stripes song, right?
Fair,
Because I have a
fair.
lot of favorite White Stripes songs, but I really love this song, and I think it might be because of the film like itself, because Napoleon Dynamite and
Mhm.
this song, like I said, are linked. So I am going to give this a 4 record rating on this because
I like it.
I don't think it's quite a 5, as sweet of a song as it is. I think it's cool,
Mhm.
but I think there's many other better White Stripes songs than this. But
Fair.
I think it's a really good song and deserves the recognition. So it's a 4 record song for me.
I love it. It's just I remember the first time I saw Napoleon Dynamite and
Uh-huh.
the way it started, I was like, this is the dumbest movie. I can't even believe I'm watching it. And the longer you watch it, the more it just like morphs
Right.
into this like obsession of like, oh my gosh, it makes my heart happy. Like it's pure nonsense. Like
It is.
it's
Movie's about nothing.
I think I'm gonna do a reel on maybe the favorite Napoleon
You sh-
Dynamite quotes.
oh, you should
And I'll
totally
do
do
it
it.
to this music. So
Yeah.
be on the lookout and engage with that because it's such a classic, and you have to live under a rock to not have seen that movie at this point.
Right.
So I
No, I
accept your
agree.
pro records. Thank you so much. All right,
You are very welcome. Okay.
your first song to me, Chris
Couldn't be
Beck.
any more different than White Stripes.
I know. And one of my notes is like, what what makes you think of fall with this? So Supernaught by Black Sabbath. So I like read the lyrics and I'm not necessarily seeing anything like fall centered. So talk to me
All
about
right.
how this is on your
So
fall
I'm
playlist.
going to talk to you about why this
Talk
is
to me, Chris
fall for
Baglio.
me.
I'm listening.
Because for me, all right, so I love Black Sabbath, one of my favorite bands of all time,
Mhm.
but I tend to not listen to a lot of Black Sabbath until we start getting into like these months, like this
Okay,
fall to
okay.
like winter. I do listen to Sabbath, like
Of course.
but I will say seasonality wise, my listening of more Sabbath songs starts happening around now.
The internal
And
clock starts like
yeah,
ticking.
and
All right.
and
Okay.
because Sabbath to me is like, especially this early stuff with Ozzy is like, it's just outstanding. I mean, you can hear like even songs like this, like Supernaught, like how much they're like riffing and like that rhythm and like that
Mhm.
groove, like just totally inspired so many bands that have come. Um, and I just, and that is this record too that it's off of Volume 4, Black Sabbath Volume 4. It's actually celebrating a 50th anniversary right now. Like as of
Which is hard to believe. Like
I
50
know.
years ago was
Yeah.
not what we think.
This record literally turned 50 and I was like, well, that's why I think it's apropos for not only Black Sabbath to appear on my list this week, but
Yeah.
also to come from Volume 4. But yeah, that this record is 50 years old.
I still think like 50 years ago is
Yeah.
1950.
And it
And it's
still sounds
not.
so and I still feel like it sounds so relevant to me. Like the tunes still sound relevant.
I love it. I love it. So I like I had to digest it from had you sent this as one of your first songs to me
Right.
when we first started the show, I would not have been kind to it.
I know, but I've worn on you.
Yes,
I've
like
exposed you and
yes.
you've learned,
Yes, I've learned, and the
you've
filter for
grown.
what my ears can accept and hear in has
Yes.
increased, like, and it's so I know, like, had you sent it to me, like, back then, I was about like, "Chris, I
Th-
don't know."
this probably wouldn't have been a 2 record, maybe a 1.
I it probably would have absolutely all day been long all day been long, all day long been a 2 record,
Okay.
but now, like, it's a solid 3.5, like, I don't
Oh,
yeah, I
wow.
don't put it as, like, a 4, like, I'm not there for the 4 songs.
Amanda giving
I
Black Sabbath a
know. Can
3.5.
can you believe it? Can you even handle it?
I
And
can't.
'cause dare I say, this is a I can't even say it, but I will.
Super.
It's just, like, more of a laid back Black Sabbath song.
It
Like,
grooves, man. It grooves
it
heavy.
just
Like,
I would never skip it. I just kinda sit here like, "Okay, it's not bad." Like, it when it popped on, I was like, "I feel it. I
oh, there it is.
feel it."
There it is.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not crazy. It's just it's not ear piercing. It just
no.
it comes on with intent and to get the job done, and it does.
I mean, what a riff. I mean, riff
It
masters.
yeah, it doesn't, like, go above the line of like, it just is it's nice solid
Yeah.
there, and so 3.5, I accept it. I listen to it. I'm gonna click our playlist as soon as this is over and listen to it all again.
Wow. I
Yeah,
hope everybody's hearing this.
I
History's
know.
being made, everyone.
Yes, so Black Sabbath on
Black Sabbath.
September 26th of
There you go.
2022 gets a 3.5 from Amanda Sharp.
Wow. That's amazing, Amanda. So, real quick too. So to answer our
Yeah.
question about where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Yes. Jack White has a book called We're Going to Be Friends.
Mama
My
Baglio coming in
my
with the win.
my mom checking in, coming in hot.
I mean, Doesn't that just make sense that that's the title?
Yeah.
I
Totally
love
makes
it.
sense.
I love it. Thank you, Mama Baglio.
All right. Moving right along. Your second song to me is Leaves That Are Green by Simon or Garfunkel. Originally written and recorded by Paul Simon for his 1965 album, The Paul
Totally
Simon
think so.
Songbook, and it was later re-recorded for the 1966 album Sounds of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. It was also the B-side to the hit song Homeward Bound. So this was a
Homeward
B-side.
bound.
Yeah.
Gosh, what
So
a great just like group of songs, cluster of songs from them. Ah,
I'm gonna tell you this. I wasn't really familiar with the Simon and Garfunkel song. I
that's
listened to it.
okay.
No, I know, and I was like, oh wow, I feel like I kind of know a lot of their songs,
Mhm.
but this was one I just for whatever reason I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever really heard this song before, or maybe I had, and just I don't know, but but I was really digging it because I was
Mhm.
like, this kind of felt like new Simon and Garfunkel music for me.
How fun.
Yeah, I was like, kind of like, wow, I just, and I know, it's probably on like some greatest hits package or something
Sure.
like that, but it is a B side. And
Mhm.
I don't really, I personally have never really heard it on the radio. I don't think, I mean, I like, you always hear like Homeward Bound
Yeah.
and Me and Julio Down by a Schoolyard and Sounds of Silence. Like,
Yeah.
they're huge, huge hits.
Yeah.
This song really wasn't a huge hit. Because I guess it was a B-side, but they've played it live. They've done it out on tour. But anyway, I really liked this song a lot. I thought it was cool, and I definitely could understand why. I mean, the lyrics are very like kind of autumn inspired, like the
Yeah.
changing of the changing of the seasons, kind of relating to like the aging process, right? The basically circle of life type of thing. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed this song. Like I said, it was kind of like discovering like a new Simon and Garfunkel tune for me. So yeah, I like the song. I think everybody should check it out. I'll play a little bit of it, but like, oh, that's not it. Here it is. Yeah, Leaves Are Green. Yeah,
So
I don't know. I mean, does everybody else know this song? I mean, I guess if you listen to Sounds of Silence a lot, you know,
I was 21 years when
this definitely
I
sounds
wrote
like
this
a song would
song.
be in a Wes Anderson film too, which Wes
and
Anderson uses a lot of that stuff. But
and I think we've discussed this a lot on this show that depending on what songs you give me together can dictate where that rating might have been if it was on a different show.
right.
And so I think with this song, it just was on such a powerful cluster of songs that it would have kind of gotten hidden a little bit.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I like I said, I didn't really realize the song, but it's really good. And yeah, maybe too, like because I'm such a huge Wes Anderson fan, and he loves using music by like Simon Garfunkel and
Mhm.
Cat Stevens and so on and so. I mean, if you listen to Wes Anderson soundtracks like Rushmore, to me, that's a film I watch too, like pretty much during the fall. And the soundtrack to Rushmore is perfection to me. And this would have fit right in with that, or Royal Tenenbaums, or like really any of his movies. But so it makes me think of Wes Anderson films too, which I think also helps. And I like it. I like the song. I think it's cool. I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Oh
I'm
my
giving it a
goodness,
4.
I
Yeah,
take
because
it.
I was just so jazzed by like hearing the song,
Like,
and I go, this sounds like fall. Like this is
I
cool.
love it.
And it sounds like a new Simon and Garfunkel songs I kind of like never really listened to. So like
I love that. You know what I predict?
what?
I predict this song will be in a movie within the next year or 2.
Oh,
I mean, you can call me Notre Dame. How do you say that, Notre Dame?
Nostradamus, Amanda Damas.
Amanda Damas.
Amanda Damas predicts.
Yes, because this is people are going vintagey, retro, and I feel like this song just could
Yeah.
be played so well in movies
Hmm.
and scenes. So I predict there's gonna be it's gonna have the like Stranger Things effect to it.
Right. It might. I mean, this is definitely something I could see you playing in Pressed Rose. If I walk into Pressed Rose, it's like, oh, here's some Simon and Garfunkel
Just
leaves that are green
leaves that are green. Just
at Pressed Rose.
no big deal. No big deal.
While I'm sipping my coffee, looking at like all these beautiful
Mhm.
handmade goods and getting my honey and
I know. Local honey, wonderful for allergies.
Wonderful for seasonal allergies.
I know that Chris and I both suffer from.
That's right.
Although today we're sounding pretty decent for a fall day.
Yeah, today we are, because normally I'm like,
I know. We got the sniffles, we're hacking, we're muting so we can cough, but
Yeah.
today we're killing it. We are killing it.
Today is a good day.
I just made us sound really uncool. I apologize, Chris. All right, moving on. So I don't sound too bad for us. In November by Christie Front Drive. So I really think like Christie Front Drive is so cute.
Yeah.
Like I just love that name. And I love the beginning of the music, which I'm sure you're about to play.
Yep.
It's just like
Yep.
It's so great. Like I really appreciate that. What type of music would you categorize this as?
So this would 100% be lumped into the quote unquote emo music of the like mid to late 90s, like the earlier part of whatever you want to call the emo movement. So these guys are from Colorado. They really only had like 2 records and a bunch of EPs and stuff, and I always loved this band. I love their sound.
It has that sound that a lot of other bands have, and I'm like, I don't know what to call it. But
it's like that kind of like jangly, like emo, with sort of the soft and quiet, and
I don't want to call it easy listening because it's but it's not like forceful listening.
Yeah, it's just sort of like they're like from that time, man. I mean, this is what a lot of the bands sounded like, and I loved it. It's like underground emo stuff that like bands that probably should have been big but never really did, and that was just it. They came on, they did a bunch of songs, and then they just, that was the end. That was it. And then they all went on and did other bands. Like,
well, I mean, you got to have your start somewhere.
Yeah. No, and I love this. Is like this record for me is just like one of my favorite like records that I and it's 100% a fall record. Like I put this on from like September through like April. I listened to this record.
Yeah, so fall for us is like all cold weather. Keep that in mind, listeners.
Yeah.
we are where we live, there's definitely 4 seasons, and it feels like the fall season lasts for more than half the year.
Yeah, maybe for you. I don't know. I always feel like fall around here in Jersey is like we get like maybe like 6 weeks of fall, and then it's just cold. And then it's just cold.
Know.
And then winter starts.
Oh, winter. Winter is miserable. But November by Christie Front Drive is not.
Okay.
So I'm coming in with another 3.5 on this one.
Wow. Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad you like this because I think I love this whole record, and they they were a band that, like I said, weren't around for a very long time, but they were very influential in the like scene, like the emo post-hardcore. Like it was something that like really happened between like that like 90s, like mid to late 90s, early 2000s was like this explosion of like just amazing bands that influenced other bands and sort of like made these great records that like people like me have like these emotional attachments to. And this is like one of these bands, and this record for me is just I love it. I think it's good songwriting, great songs.
It's good. It's good. So 3.5 records. And if you'll check in with some of the comments, Chris Baglio, starting with your mother real quick, because it's just so happens that I got a package from Mr. Baglio.
Oh, look at that.
With some of his handcrafted spoons.
New spoons.
Look at, they're adorable.
Oh, yeah, the snowman spoons, yeah.
Yeah, the snowman spoons. So since we're talking about getting colder in winter, that is from Mr. Baglio.
There you go.
We'll go into the store for sure. I just got them on Saturday, so I just brought them in. So perfect timing for that comment.
Yeah, Amanda's gonna buy all of them and just keep them.
I know, probably, because they all speak to me differently.
They all speak to you differently.
And Johnny Pica coming in. Good morning, shiny, happy people. I assume that's what he.
I'm going to say, that's exactly where it's going. Yes. Yes. Johnny Pica, host of the Back of the Cereal Box podcast and live stream. Make sure you check it out.
Super fun show.
Super great show.
All right.
Okay.
We talk too much. I know. I'm sorry, listeners, but we just get like derailed so easily because of fun spoons and stuff.
Well, you know, we're having a fun show. We're talking about fall, and there's a lot of fallish things coming up. And we had a contest announcement today. Like it was a lot of good stuff going on today. Which, by the way, real quick for those of you just checking in now, Ironic Media is giving away a Shure MV7 mic and podcast coaching session giveaway, which you can enter right now by using the link in the show notes below. So make sure you check that out because this is going to be a great giveaway. I mean, you're getting like a Shure MV7, like a really official, like professional podcasting mic. And then on top of that, followed up by an hour of coaching with Ironic Media, Mark Roddick from Ironic Media. So use the link in the show notes below. Enter the contest, do all the things. Go over to ironicmedia.com, the whole thing.
You have nothing to lose.
That's right. And John Pike can check in with spoons are fun. Agreed. But you need to eat them when you eat cereal, though, too, right?
That's right. That's right.
And then, yes, it's also Scooby season. You are correct, sir. It is Scooby season.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right. Back to the show.
2 more songs to review. Let's do this. Okay. My last and final song to you was...
Yes, your last and final song to me was September Morn.
So good at that.
Am I?
Yes.
By the man with the rhinestone shirts.
Mm-hmm.
The only other person I knew who could rock a rhinestone shirt better than Elvis.
Very, yes.
Would be the man with the name Diamond in his name.
That's right. That's right. By default, it's just natural.
By default, if your name is Neil Diamond, you have to be able to wear like a bedazzled shirt.
Yes.
With rhinestones on it. Stay with me a while. I mean, this is a great ballad. And you know what, Amanda, until you had sent this to me, I kind of had forgotten about this song.
Sure.
Like this really, you know, like I was like, oh wow, this is a great song. But like you don't hear it, I feel like, as much as other Neil Diamond songs, right?
I think it just kind of gets put down because he has other amazingly successful songs.
Well, he is. I mean, if you guys don't know, I mean, some people may know just from the song, right? But Neil Diamond is an amazing songwriter and has written so many songs for so many artists. Like, I don't even think you even realize like how much he's contributed to like writing songs for the artist, covering songs, making his own, like obviously his own hits. I mean, the guy is a supreme talent. He really is. Yeah, I agree. Neil Diamond is God. The guy is just so talented. And I don't think people realize that a lot because I think they just know him for rhinestone shirts and singing ballads and Sweet Caroline and like, you know, those songs. But like he is like, I mean, actually even go back to like early Neil Diamond where he was like more folk and like those songs are like really good.
Yeah.
Like really, really good. So I urge you all to dive into the Neil Diamond catalog, challenge yourself, get beyond the hits and like go into like the man's music because I really think you're going to dig it. And September Morn is one of those sons that I kind of forgot, and it is such a well-written song. It really is.
And articulated so beautifully. Oh, it's so good.
The song was written with French composer Gilbert Bouchard. And the pair worked together when on the Jazz Singer soundtrack, which another great soundtrack. The Jazz Singer. The song is about a couple who have come back together after a break in their relationship. It's an emotional moment as Neil Diamond sings about recalling the feeling when they danced until morning, a feeling he still gets on certain September mornings. They've grown apart, but not so far that they can't remember the good times, or so he hopes. This song, actually, there's a little kind of weird true crime thing kind of associated with the song.
Someone say true crime?
Yeah. Did someone say true crime? True crime? Where?
For those who aren't watching and just listening, I happen to be wearing the shirt Chris got me for my birthday. It says fueled by coffee and true crime. So I had to show the screen.
It's so true. So here's the little bit that I dug up on. Songfacts.com actually had this. So it said there was a Tennessee nursing student, Holly Bobo, who was 20 years old when she vanished on April 13th, 2011. As usual in cases of this nature, a number of psychics came forward with information that could assist the investigation Authorities made it clear that the dubious tips were interfering with the investigation, but volunteer groups pushed to follow the leads. Among the calls that came in was from a person who insisted that the lyrics of September Morn contained clues to Bobo's disappearance. Just what the lyrics supposedly revealed about the case was unclear, but it made the news along with other odd claims. Naturally, nothing came of it, although sometime later, 1 September in 2014, her remains were found.
How poetically sad.
Yeah. So a little bit of trivia there. That I mean, listen, not directly, but just kind of like
I mean,
coincidence, right? Coincidence.
Yes, poetic justice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of interesting. And you know what? This song was actually a B-side. Another song that was a B-side. This was the B-side to, if I can find this note really quick. Oh, sorry, I take that back. It was not the B-side. It was released as a single, but the B-side to this was a rework of the Neil Diamond penned Monkees classic, I'm a Believer. So did you know that Neil Diamond was a writer of I'm a Believer?
I did not.
He was the writer. And he did it complete with steel drums, a light somber rhythm, and a few new lyrics. He also put on there a cover of Martha and Vangelis Dancing in the Street and Lloyd Prince's Stagger Lee. Both among they become full-fledged disco tracks. The full-fledged disco tracks Neil Diamond ever cut. His version of the Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore was faithful more for the prominent of the Who's Baba O'Reilly guitar lick. So these were all like B-sides to like September Morn. So there you go.
Folks, this is why you tune in to the Chris and Amanda show, to hear these nuggets. Yes.
Yes, Holly Bobo was already that long ago, Johnny. Yes.
So where are you rating this song, Chris Veglio?
So September Morn for me, because I had kind of forgotten about it and how good of a well-written song it is. Is it a five? So here it is. Is it a 5-record song? It is a really, really good song, right? Okay. So I feel like, will I go back and listen to it? Yes. Is it a well-written song? Yes. So for those reasons, and is it going to make a playlist? So that's the Trinity right there.
Yeah, you got it.
Right? Yes, it will make a playlist for sure. So it is a 5-record song for me.
Well, I felt like you were talking like it down, so like I understood.
Initially, I was like a 4.5 with it, but the more I listened to it again and even actually rereading all this, I'm like, you know what? It is a 5-record. It checks all the boxes.
It does, and it's hard to really like do a Neil Diamond song that's like less than 5 sometimes. Yeah, like, he's just so talented.
He is.
So thank you for that 5 records. Thank you.
You are very welcome.
All right, last song of the day. Whew, we are long-winded
the last song
morning. I know. So we're gonna go with Jenna. If I say it smooth and fast enough, like no one's gonna question me, by Sunny Day Real Estate, which again that makes me smile every time I say it out loud. I love the band name, so much fun.
Yes.
The lyrics are rather darkish though.
So there's so much history about this band. So Sunny Day Real Estate, who I'm going to see at the end of this week right away because they're doing a little reunion tour. So I'm like so excited because this is like when I'm talking about favorite bands, like I was kind of gushing over Christie Front Drive, but like Sunny Day Real Estate is the band that like every single one of these bands like basically were like influenced by and did like their version of. And they are just an outstanding band. And their first 2 records, now I remember I gave you, I think it was In Circles a while back. That was off their first record, Diary. This is off of LP2 that came out. It's normally called the Pink record because it's all pink. And at this point, when this had come out, like the band had already broken up. Like they've done this pattern throughout their entire existence. Jeremy Enoch, the lead singer, basically locked himself in a room and came out again, a born again Christian, and then like went in that route. The guy, Dan Horner, one of the guitar players, he literally bought a farm and just said, I'm quitting music and becoming a farmer. And then Nate and William Goldsmith joined the Foo Fighters with Dave Grohl. They joined his band. They joined the Foo Fighters at that time, who really weren't that big yet. It was like they were just new. So this record came out and the band was like kind of like called it a day. And this record's a big difference from Diary. In the songs were a little darker, a little just more little more like double meaning stuff too. And at this
Mhm.
time too, like apparently Jeremy Enoch had gone through a really bad breakup with somebody that he was like deeply in love with, which also I think was sort of like the chain of
Mhm.
events that like led him
Mhm.
down, where he just had an awakening for
Sure.
him, and so yeah, this song is kind of like him, like pouring it in,
Sure.
to like what he's feeling about like breaking up. At least that's what we think, because a lot of Jeremy Enoch's lyrics always have like, you kind of think they are, but like you're never sure, because he never really ever comes out and says what he means. It's kind of like, here's the song, you guys figure it out.
I'm really glad that you said that, because when I'm like reading the lyrics as I'm listening, I'm trying to digest them, and I'm like, gosh, they're really sad and they're very dark, but like it seems obvious, but I'm like, is this what they're saying? So I'm glad that
Yeah.
other people struggle a little bit with that. I didn't mind listening to the song until like, I don't know, like the last minute or so. Like there's like this moaning or something in it.
Oh, it's like it's like a Beatles-esque
Yeah.
kind of moment.
And
Like
I'm like,
I kind of figured, because he was such a huge John Lennon fan and I'm such a huge Beatles fan, that I felt like that was like their sort of like their Beatles-esque kind of like.
and I didn't love that, but like it's overall not a bad song. I can see
Right.
why it's on like a fall playlist.
Yeah,
I
well,
wouldn't
definitely Sunny Day for me is like, as much as they're called Sunny Day, but like they are like 100% a fall band for me.
It's very contradictive to what you hear compared
Super
to what
emotional.
they
Yeah.
name. And I put like, it's a sad song on my notes. And so for that, like I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Like I like it. I
Hmm.
really do like it. So I'm gonna do 3 records for this one.
Nice. So this part, I'm gonna build it. This part that happens in the song, especially at the end. Here we go. This part is literally the basis for all emo bands ever coming up. Like every band that came after this literally listens to this part. And if you listen to like, I know for all my people out there who know this, like that this part is literally every emo band of all time basically start doing this, like,
This right here.
yeah, this break, like that, like build up.
I mean, but like I feel like the lyrics are almost contradictive of the music you hear.
Yes, agreed.
And so, like, I'm hearing this and I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I hear the lyrics and I'm like, oh, those are a little more of a struggle for me. But overall, like, not a bad song. I wouldn't skip it. I can appreciate it for darker weather.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
So 3 records.
I'm telling you right now, that single part in this song, like, literally spawned about 100,000 bands.
That is
There's
so
literally
cute.
bands that it's Sunny Day Real Estate, and then there's bands that sound like Sunny Day Real Estate.
Super cute, though. Like, hey,
Yeah.
everyone has to look up to somebody.
Oh, of course. I mean,
No,
think
I
about
love
it.
it.
There's the Beatles, and then there's bands that sound like the Beatles. I mean,
Absolutely.
any band, there's Nirvana, and there's bands that sound like Nirvana. So I mean,
Yes.
it's just, that's what happens when you have a band that just kind of comes on, and then you go, and every band goes, well, that's what's popular, so let's do that. Or they just get influenced by it and they do
Yeah.
their version of it. And I'm telling you, like, this record too in particular, Diary and these 2 records like spawned an entire genre of music that, like, and 1,000 bands that didn't exist until these 2 records came out.
So Sunny Day Real Estate's like, you're welcome.
Basically, yeah. And like, like they're considered like, they can't stand it. They're like, hate being called an emo band, or like the fathers of
Sure.
you. Like they don't even like that stuff. But they are playing this song. I saw it in the set list, and I'm gonna go berserk when they play it. Because they even do an extended version that like it already gets it's
I
good.
hope you can like get a reel for us.
I will take video for you just so you can see how awesome it is when they do it.
Please do. And I'm sure our listeners want to do that or see it too.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be good. I will make a reel at the Sunday Day Real Estate show happening in
Absolutely.
New York this weekend.
Woo! Like
Woohoo!
he's like, happen in New York. Like I just go to New York all the time. Like, Chris, you're so cool.
No,
I'm
not.
just here in southeastern Michigan drinking coffee.
Michigan is cool.
Michigan's very cool, but it's very not New York.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Nothing is like New York.
Nothing.
Nothing's like New York. Well, this was a really fun show. I think we had some really great songs. I hope that you all enjoyed listening to it today. Once again, we'd love to hear what you think. Like, let us know what some of your fall songs are, or songs that you only listen to during the fall? Like, we want to know. Leave us a voicemail at 973-506-8009, 973-506-8009, and hit that +1 if you're dialing out of the United States, or feel free to drop us a note over on our Instagram or TikTok at The Chris and Amanda Show. We will be making reels. Make sure you follow us there, because we are always making reels and videos and putting stuff up. And you can DM us there too. So you can also let us know what you like there. And you can also hit us up at thechrisamandashow.com, our official website for the Chris and Amanda Show, where you can access our merch store and feel free to buy some merch. We got to do some updated merch, but we still have some really cool merch.
We also need some fall merch.
That's right. We need to do some fall merch. But we have our mailing list there too, where you can sign up for our official Chris and Amanda Show email list. And all these links are in the show notes below. And once again, we want to say thank you to our sponsor for supporting us over the next 4 weeks, Ironic Media. Go over to ironicmedia.com or visit Mark over on Instagram at Mark Ronick or on Clubhouse at Mark Ronick.
Yes.
And also, make sure to enter the big giveaway sponsored by Ironic Media, giving away a Shure MV7 mic and podcast coaching session giveaway. Enter now. The link is in our show notes. Do not miss out. You got to be in it to win it, baby.
I mean, what do I say after that?
Got to be in it to win it.
Mini mic drop.
Mini mic drop. Yeah. Well, and also, too, we didn't mention at the top because we were talking about we were so excited to get to the contest. Yeah. But, if you want to make sure that you get notified, because we do the show live, right? But then after the show, we upload it to YouTube, and we also put the audio version up basically anywhere you get podcasts. So to get notified when that happens, so that way you don't miss it, is to hit that follow or subscribe button. So go over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and get the little bell, so that way you get notified every time we put something up there. Because not only do we do the full episodes of the show, we also put highlights videos up there as well from the show. So we cut out certain parts. So if you want to see Amanda talking about Judas Priest Painkiller and just that, you could do that. Or if you want to hear her talking about August Burns Red, you could do that.
Absolutely.
You could just listen to that or just watch that part. So go over to YouTube and do that. And wherever you're listening to this, please make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you're listening to it, because every platform is different. But what you do what happens when you do that basically tells those platforms that you really like the show and you want to hear more, and it helps get the show discovered by new listeners. So if you enjoy what we're doing and want to make sure other people enjoy it as well, please take that quick second to hit that follow or subscribe button.
Beautifully said.
Thank you, Amanda Sharp. Any last words before we sign off?
No, great theme that you chose for this week, Chris. Thank you. And thank you everyone who tuned in live. Like, it was so much fun. It's great to see those comments coming in and the support from everybody. It's so appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for watching another episode of the Chris and Amanda Show. And we will catch you next week for another live version here. And hopefully you guys will check out the replays. And yeah, that's it. So see ya.
Bye, everyone.